Hello, everybody. Today is a great, if unscheduled, day to code. I'm glad you're all with me here to do it. My name is John the Unwise Geek, and welcome to the channel. So, if you've known of me on Twitch, it's going to be a lot of the same thing today. It's going to be awesome and a lot of great fun. If you're finding me fresh on YouTube, I'm for the moment, a late 30s Linux geek who enjoys programming as his day job, as well as um, handling a midlife crisis on the live stream. So I'm doing it in the best way I can. Streaming about live streaming. So it looks like my... Oh, okay, yeah. I should... Oh, I am all over the place with my stream today. I haven't got anything set up already. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. We'll pull that there. I'm going to close off some other windows that are not necessary to be open right now. And OMG, it's like I've never done a live stream before. Thank you. Yeah, I did pull the volume down a little bit, Yannick. And what's cool, I did it with my button box with one of the volume sliders. I'm so happy that worked. So, yeah, like OMG, for the moment, I am still a late 30s computer programmer. Or a computer programmer in his late 30s. Yeah. So, another interesting facet of the stream today, it is unscheduled because kind of on a lark, I decided to maybe also involve another channel that I've had for a little while, a YouTube channel, which I did a few streaming things for Farming Simulator 19 during a, yeah, yeah, Yannick says, yeah, and I'm a 20-year-old geek. Sure, you're a 20-year-old geek with like 80 years experience. Whatever. But we're also going to be working on YouTube, and we're restreaming this to YouTube, so you can catch this on the Twitch channel or the YouTube channel, wherever you just happen to find me. One of the things that I like to do with this stream is I like to roll my own utilities. As a streamer, you have a lot of things available to you, like Stream Elements, Streamlabs, to help converge these different channels. That's kind of not my style. I kind of like rolling my own stuff as much as I can. It's a great way for me to learn. This whole stream started with me trying to learn JavaScript and React.js. So that's kind of been cool. I've been working on... let me show you here. I call it the OBS button box, though I may have to change the name soon. And it's essentially a button box, a clickable UI for things like for setting up the stream. So with things like different scenes that I have available, different automations, different scroll bars for the two things that bounce around on the bottom of the screen a little bit, I could set those remotely without having to deal with OBS directly, which has been very cool for me to just concentrate on my stream rather than looking back and forth between the monitors or going to a different thing. I actually have this button box on a Raspberry Pi running on a touchscreen right by my hand while I'm working with the mouse. So that's kind of what I've been doing, and it's kind of evolved over time to instead of just simply working on this, I work on a whole ecosystem of apps related to the stream, and it's been a lot of fun. So with the advent of me using Restream, it's actually a really great opportunity for me to start venturing out and start working with YouTube's APIs so I could start melding some things. My most recent... wait a minute. Okay, so one thing I just realized is my head blocks a lot of the chat, or at least the last few lines of chat. So there we go. All right. So one thing I have realized is or one thing I'm real proud of rather is I was able to get this chat working relatively recently, and it would be very cool. Oh. Yes, dear. I'll just shrink my head. I don't want to get a big head doing this whole streaming thing. So yeah, I will. I had a lot of fun doing that chat and getting it working right. And then now adding YouTube to the mix, it's going to be a bit of a challenge getting all this together and synchronized up here on the on the screen. Maybe. I don't know. I've never done it before. It could be a breeze. So I thought maybe let's have a bit of an out-of-band streaming session where I start cracking on that in the API that I've written for OBS Buttonbox. Today, YouTube, tomorrow TikTok. Yes, I'm already working on one of my slow transitions, like they do, like a real fast transition that leads into a slow thing. Before you know it, maybe you'll be on Reddit. Maybe. I don't know if Restream supports restreaming to Reddit. Right now, I'm just happy conquering Twitch and dipping the toe in YouTube. And let's just say I use the term conquer and dipping very loosely. All right. So let's kind of get to work here. We're gonna have to start with some research. Nothing good ever got out of Reddit. I don't know. I wouldn't say me. I haven't got out of Reddit yet. I still actively participate. I have almost 2,000 karma, so like I'm kind of a big deal. Only took me 12 years. Oh, that's right. Irigi is on Reddit too. He plays there as well. All right, so let's see. API for YouTube chat. Now, I figure there's a few different ways to do this. If there's a... Well, it looks like there is an API right off the bat. I can scrape the chat for messages, which I think is one way to do it. The API is another way to do it. I want to check out the API because it's a bit cleaner rather than... Okay, so let's see. Here's the question. Oh, the Unwise Geek. Did you want to make that Greek beef stew? It's the only one I see in the book. No. Let me put this on hold for a second. Instant pot beef stew. All right. So the salty marshmallow. Okay, I'm gonna click on that salty marshmallow recipe just for the heck of it, because that's a great name for a recipe website. Yes, it may be an impromptu food stream. Let's see. So blah 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 blah. Let's look at the recipe. I can make have my own imagination. Okay, good. This is Worcestershire sauce. Good. Cornstarch, water. That's going to be pretty thick for 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. That'll thicken it up nice. Okay. If we could just get the 16-ounce bag, if we could already get them sliced, that would be cool. And yeah, for the Italian seasoning, I think I'm just going to use the sandwich sprinkle from Penzies. Yeah, so let me go ahead and send you this link, babe. This looks like it would work well. Let me look at some others just in case. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I want to get on Reddit now because I want to get thirst comments. I'm human. I like the validation from time to time. Anyway. Impromptu food stream here. Now this actually looks good. This looks really good. I will ban you. No, I'm kidding. I already slid into your DMs though. That looks really good. Hold on. Brown the beef, deglaze the pot. Cut your veggies into big chunks. Use natural pressure release. Thicken the broth. Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, this looks much better. I like this a lot better. I like the look of this a lot better. I will send this to you. I'll slide into your DMs. Oh. Oh, okay. Almost there. Okay, so I'm gonna make a hearty beef stew. It's gonna be thickened with cornstarch. Then, maybe then, I'm gonna strip down to my bare skin and do the dishes. Contain yourself, woman! I just sent you the link. Thank you, sweetheart. Okay, so yes, I haven't been paying attention. Thank you, Yannick. So one of the things about that, let me pull this over onto this other screen. So here's how I'm implementing that chat. Maybe you have a better idea for the algorithm, Yannick, but right now I'm using a fixed width font, Courier New. I'm setting an arbitrary number of lines that I want to see on the screen and a wrap width. So it's programmable, or you can add it into get arguments, HTTP get arguments, and then it reads all of the lines from the chat messages log that I have. It basically it goes backwards, starting at the bottom, and it adds it to the list based on the number of lines it basically comes out of. So we're taking the length of the author name, the length of the message, and then we're adding 2 for the colon and the space. It's dividing it by the wrap width, which I have set to 35, and then it's adding those lines to the formatted message list, and that's what gets output into that chat history. Sometimes it gets a little too long, sometimes it gets a little too short. It's kind of interesting. Only thing I can think to do is use like a line count of like 22 or 23, but sometimes what ends up happening is a lot of the space at the bottom it's too long. So like, or yeah, like see how there's add 7 and divide by 42? What do you mean? I'm not following that, unless you're trolling. You're trolling. Alright, well, I pulled it up a little bit, so that should bring it up a bit. Keep it from rolling off the bottom. So yeah, that looks like a great recipe for beef stew. Now let's look at the YouTube API. So it says live chat messages, YouTube API. So resource represents, so reading through this here, a live chat message resource represents a chat message in a YouTube live chat. The resource can contain details about several types of messages, including a newly posted text message or a fan funding event. The live chat feature is enabled by default for live broadcast and is available while the live event is active. After the event ends, live chat is no longer available for that event. The API supports the following methods for live chat resources: lists live chat messages for a specific chat, insert adds a message to live chat, and deletes a chat message. The API request must be authorized by the channel owner or a moderator of the live chat. Okay. So I wonder if it allows subscription or if we just have to continue if we have to just continue polling the YouTube API. So the question is, how are the colors done? Is that an ANSI code that comes with the username? Yes, it does. Let me show you that now. We have chat messages coming in. This is pulled in by the Geekbot. Say hello, Geekbot. So what these do is they come in from Twitch. So for example, community tea time, Monica's messages come in with a color of 1090FF. Mine come in with a 0000FF, and yours come in with a FF0000. So all I do is I take those from Twitch, and I drop them into a span with a style tag noting that color. So let's see. Oh well, you know, it comes by its lack of English, honestly. So yeah, that's how I'm doing color on the chat. There's a default. Yeah, so Twitch sends the color. I think there's a place in your Twitch settings where you could define your own, and that's what that comes down to. Or yours might be red because we banned you a few times. I don't know. We'll see. But I think it is user configurable. Okay, so do you know what the Chelsea Cucumber hex code is, dear? All right. Let's see. If the modulo of random divided by 2 equals 0, so if it's an even number, we're going to overwrite Yannick's color with Chelsea Cucumber Green. And then we're going to add that to formatted messages. So let's go ahead and save that. I'm going to reset the API. And let's go ahead and restart chat history. There we go. What's worse or better, I don't know, this could be kind of cool, is so why is the mod rand 100 instead of rand 2? Gives it more opportunity to be even or odd. Rand 2, like, I find you end up with more one or the other, and it's not as much as, it's not as nice of a 50-50 split as if you give it 100 ways to screw up, basically. Yeah. So there. So every so often you're also now Chelsea Green. Cool. That God, that's gonna get colorful. Alright, so cool. That was a interesting little side trip. What did I do here? Oh. I don't know what I did there. We're gonna Chelsea Cucumber for Yannick. All right, we'll sync that upstream. No, you're clearly not. All right, so that was a nice little side trip. So let's take a look at, again, this API for YouTube. So identify the API's resources, traits, YouTube live chat messages. I don't know what an e-tag is, but okay. Snippet type, live chat ID, live chat ID. Okay, this could be interesting. Text message details. All right, so it looks like the only event I do want to get from YouTube is text message event. Yeah, it changes the old ones too. So every time it re-renders the chat, like when you send a new one, it's going to do that same check on each instance of your name. So it will actually change the old ones as well. Don't worry, I meant to do that. So these are snippet things. Okay, so one day I will want to implement super chats. Maybe do something cool with the stream on an overlay or something. That could be kind of cool. So yeah, this is a neat API. I mean, I like it. It's hip, it's cool. I wonder if there's a unique ID that comes with these API events. The first step really is to get connected to the YouTube API and then just kind of see what comes in. So, all right, resource summary, fan funding. So how do I get onto the YouTube API? All right. Oh, this is the API reference. I was just there. Let me open a tab with that though. Okay, so somebody has a tutorial for doing a chatbot for YouTube. Yeah, sure. Okay, familiar with the basics of HTML, JavaScript. Yeah. You have Node.js installed. Oh, okay, no, I don't want to do this in JavaScript. I want to keep it to Python as much as possible. So ultimately what I'd like to do is, so I want to take these chat messages. I'm going to actually have to, I want to add a service to this, a service tag. So basically, let me do this. Let's control H. And then, oh, I need to actually do one more thing before I do that. I'm going to open up the code to Geekbot. It's going to be right over here. And in this requests get, I'm also going to add service Twitch. Now, what did we do? Oh, hold on. I have to do single quotes here. Okay, why is that F string not working? Okay, here we go. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So this is going to create a dictionary entry that's going to add Twitch to the chat history. So we're going to go ahead and restart the GeekBot. And over here back in the API, here in chat messages, before we get anything happening, I'm going to replace, actually I'm going to Control H, replace that with, oh actually, there. Alright, so that adds everything to our previous messages. Now, all the messages coming in now should have that already. Testing? Let's check on that. Oh, where'd it go? Here it is, chat messages. And it didn't come through with service attached to it. Why not? Come on, GeekBot, get it together. Because I didn't add it down here. Service equals Twitch. Alright, so great. But actually, I don't need this anymore because it's working the way I want it to. So I don't need that debugging anymore. And I need to add service to the new chat message API endpoint. Okay, so go back over here into API, and here is new chat messages right here. And if key equals service has service equals true. All right. I need to add that here. Because I need each of these are required to get the message where it's supposed to be. Has service equals true if has author, and has message, and has service. Line dictionary, author data author, color data color, message data message, and service equals data service. Save that. All right, we're going to go ahead and bounce the API. Actually, we also need to restart GeekBot as well. I have too many tabs open. Okay, here we go. So let's see how this works. Great. So what are we going to do now with this? We're going to go back into API. We're going to go down to chat history. And we're going to say... how are we going to say this? All right. So let's try a few different things. So let's do this. Over here, if line service equals Twitch. Let's play with this. Let's take this color that Twitch normally comes in, and let's see. Let's make it purple. Oh, sandwich fillings. Sliced chicken. The curry chicken that Boar's Head has would be awesome. Okay, perfect. So let's indent that just so else if in JinjaScript. Go to Google, Jinja if statements. Stack Overflow if key is priority. And if. What about else? Is it else or else if? It is else. Okay, perfect. Sure, Yannick. We'll just FedEx FedEx it to you, but we can't guarantee anything is gonna arrive well except the pickles. Maybe even not that. Back into chat history. Else. Ooh. Come on. There we go. Alright. So what this should accomplish is, and we don't have to keep this if it doesn't look too good. What this will actually do is it'll color everything from Twitch that same purple that Twitch has. Otherwise, it's going to keep it white for YouTube. Because having red text, the colors of YouTube are red and white. Having red text, that much red text, may be a little uncomfortable. But we'll see how the purple looks. We'll save that. Restart the API. And let's go ahead and refresh chat history. So that'll really differentiate between Twitch and YouTube, but is it too hard to read? I know it's kind of a light purple against a black screen. What do y'all think? A bit hard, yeah. Okay, so let's see if maybe lightening it up would work. One thing I do like about VS Code is it does have this color wheel on it, so that's exactly the wrong direction of lightening up. There we go. So let's try that. Save this. Did that even change? Is that any easier to read? Not to the windows. Yeah, or we could go after the stream. It's up to you, dear. Okay, it's a little easier. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open up a preview. A little easier. Okay, would it be easy? Would it be easier? lighter, or should try to figure out a different way to do this? Alright, dear. Thank you for coming out for the stream. So, lighter as in more contrast would be helpful. This is almost getting pink. Alright, we'll save this, redo the API, and reload the chat. So this is coming from Twitch, which is kind of purpley, I think. And no, I think having it pinkish red be too much. It would be too much of a color splash. Alright, so that's done. Now back to the API reference. So live chat messages. Let's look at the overview. So that's the resource. Okay. It's all pretty straightforward, but it doesn't tell me exactly how to get onto this. Okay, YouTube live streaming API overview. That should be better. Yeah, I see what you mean, Yannick. That should be a lot easier to read, actually. Yeah. I hope it's still purpley enough. It's kind of pinker, but I hope it's purpley enough to evoke Twitch. Cool. Hey, Delphic, how you doing? How did the stream go earlier today with Marius? Did everything work well? Nobody had a psychotic episode from Golf with Friends? Good. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So I'm working on ironing out some of the wrinkles for Restream. I'm now streaming to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Oh no. Okay. So it says, congratulations, I received 100 messages today with Restream chat. That's neat. Okay. We tried a really crazy new game mode that made for good streaming. That's awesome. I'm going to go look at the VOD from Marius' channel later. Because I thought I saw you starting to go in that direction when I left. But yeah, awesome, man. Glad to hear that. So I'm streaming today to iron out the wrinkles between YouTube and Twitch. I'm trying to get them converged into the chat that appears on stream. The way I'm initially looking at doing it is color coding the chat messages that come in, having this kind of light purple for Twitch and then white for YouTube. I need to get the Geekbot connected to YouTube, so we'll see how we're reading through how this goes. So yeah. So it says the YouTube live streaming API lets you create, update, and manage live events on YouTube. Using the API, you could schedule events, broadcasts, associate them with video streams, which represent the actual broadcast content. Live streaming API is actually comprised of components from the YouTube Data API and the YouTube Content ID API. The Data API enables YouTube users to manage their YouTube accounts, while the YouTube Content ID API enables interactions with YouTube rights, blah, blah, blah. All right. So core concepts: broadcasts. A broadcast represents an event that can be watched on YouTube as it happens. Broadcasts can also be recorded and saved as YouTube videos so that users can watch them after they happen. A stream identifies the audio-video content that's being communicated to YouTube. Okay, so, all right, so for the purposes of this document, a broadcast is the actual thing you see in the browser. Stream is the data being sent to YouTube. Okay. So a cue point represents an ad break that can be inserted into a live broadcast. Okay. I don't know what I'll do with that. I don't think I will do anything with that. API use cases. Okay, so broadcast states defining information. This doesn't say anything about the chat. Okay, so let's see. YouTube API Python library. Let's see if anybody has gone that distance yet. Okay, there's a Python quick start. That's neat. So let's see what it has to do. Google API Python client. Okay, OAuth. Set up your project and credentials. Alright, so I'll need an API key. Alright, so let's look at the PyDoc documentation. So there's comments, guide categories, live chat bans, live chat messages. Okay, so that's the one I want. I saw the API of that. So this one right here, lists live chat messages for a specific chat. List next retrieves the next page of results, whatever that means. I don't know if they paginate the. Yeah. So adds a message to a live insert adds a message to a live chat. Part string, part parameter serves two purposes. It identifies the. Okay. Super chat details. So I'm wondering is this like a subscription thing where you like Twitch has this thing where you subscribe to an event and it sends you the information to the event and you can handle it from there. Is this the same thing here? Okay. All right. Moving down. Okay. Yeah, so the list just sends the entire list evidently. Okay, so I wonder if I have to pull every few seconds. We'll see. So videos, watermarks, super chat events. What is a super chat event? I know what a super chat is. So I guess it's a chat that comes with a donation of some kind. Or it wouldn't be a donation, it would be a tip. Here we go. Same thing, list and list next for these super chat events. Okay, so let's go back to the quick start for Python and see what they have there. They have code samples too. That would be worth a look at. Python code samples for the YouTube Data API are now available in the API Explorer. See the use cases page to select an API method and see its use cases. Video insert. Okay. So all of them use Google API's client library for Python. Okay, you could find instructions for running the code samples on your local machine in the API's Explorer. Cool. So upload a video. Okay, here's the API Explorer. Okay, just got kicked. Oh, okay, so click on the Explorer and it tells you to read the freaking manual. Good job, Google. Yeah, it just forwards you right on. Doesn't even give you the option to click something. Okay, so alright, so let's go into Google APIs and let's see what the documentation looks like for setting this bad boy up. So they recommend using the cloud client libraries for Python where possible for new code development due to the following reasons. There's a separate client library for each API, so you can choose which client libraries to download. So, for example, I don't need a client library for Gmail or Google Calendars, though that might be cool at some point. So I don't have to download that particular part of the API. Alright, so let's look at cloud client libraries for Python. I don't really see YouTube here. Nope. Alright. So let's stick with the Google API client for Python. Well, hello, I don't know what that means. I understand the FYI part, but hello there. Welcome to the YouTube channel. So going through this here. Alright, so let's get this installed in the virtual environment for the Geekbot. Google API Python client is what it was called. Yeah. Alrighty. All right, now here's the Google API client. Migration guide. Oh, documentation. That could be a good thing. All right, so nothing jumping out at me for YouTube. Maybe it's a general API. Okay. Upload media, use pagination. Okay, so let's look into somebody who might have figured out if got a little further with the implementation details. Okay. YouTube chat messages with Python. So this is interesting. So PyTChat is a Python library for fetching YouTube live chat, which is pretty much exactly what I want it to do. PitChat is a Python I guess it's called PitChat. I don't know. PyTChat? That's a little hard to say. So it's a customizable chat data processors, including YouTube API compatible one, available on async IO context, and quick fetching of initial chat data by generating continuation parameters instead of web scraping. That could be cool. So this might be a separate daemon. Yeah, so this looks like it'll work. Yeah, this does look like it will work. Yeah, okay. So let's give this a try before we go into the the Google rabbit hole. So let's pip3 uninstall. I don't remove libraries very much. That took me a moment. Yeah, okay. So pip3 install. Oops. Install PitChat. Okay, now, Now, let me see how I have Geekbot set up. It does this asynchronously, but yeah, it's just a bot run, so we're going to need a separate listener for YouTube. So it won't work with Geekbot, unfortunately, so we're going to pip3 uninstall PitChat. Yep. Alright, we're going to go ahead and open up a new... should we do it from the API? No. So we will go ahead and do this from a new thing. We'll call it... we're going to go open folder. In our projects, we're going to do it in OBS button box. We're going to call it OBS button box YT listener. All right, we're gonna open that one up and start with the terminal here. And we have a, initialize repository, and there. So in our terminal, virtualenv VM. All right, so we're going to start with source VM bin activate and pip3 install pitchat. What did I just do there? I don't know what I just did there. So first things first, I see we're going to have an issue with the git ignore. So first things we'll put in there is the VM, so it doesn't try to get me to upload it every time I send anything to GitHub. Alright, so we're going to new file. We're going to call it ytlistener.py. I don't know why I did it that way instead of ytlistener.py. Yeah, so we're going to import pitchat. Chat equals pitchat create, and we need to get the video ID. That's going to take some smoothing out over a period of time. But for right now, what I'll do is I'll just go over here, copy the link to view event from Restream.io. No, I won't. I don't know if y'all heard that. There's a pretty big bang right above my room here. Weird. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to grab that video and go back over here into listener, change out that video ID there, and we'll see what this is. So, okay, so for C in chat, get sync items, good. Printf, date name, author name, message. Okay, so there we go. We have author names coming in, but they're not necessarily, they're not going to have any kind of color involved in them. So I'm going to kind of pick up a nice silver color for YouTube and see how that works. So instead of printf c date time author name all that, I'm going to go ahead and rem that out. And I'm also going to go ahead and import requests. And from over here in the Geekbot, oh, where'd it go? Oh, that's right. I closed it out to open this. A new window. Geekbot. So if I have as much convergence, and basically by that I mean if things work the same way for as many platforms as possible, this is going to be a lot easier on me. Yeah, right. Santa took a header. On too much Mrs. Clogg's nog. Right, so this right here, that's going to be a great thing to pull over. So it's going to basically ping the API every time a new message comes in on YouTube, and it's going to send it in the exact same way as the Geekbot sends Twitch messages. So that's great. Requests API host, API port. Okay, so that's one thing. We need to bring over one of the configuration files. So we have that. So let's see. We'll copy OBS button box audio player config.py to here. And we'll also bring in sample config.py. Then in sample config.py, yeah. No, we need API, not this. So which one of the ones that use API? So sample config. Yeah, so API uses that. So back over here. So one of the things I do want to do in the near future is create one single configuration that all of the services can rely on, and that'll be nice. That'll make things a lot easier. And as far as YT listener, from config import API host, actually API URL, API port. Change that to URL. Good. C author name. And then I think the other one is c.message. So message equals c.message. And service equals YouTube. Now, as far as the color, that's right. We're going to find a color to use for this. Does it give us the option to... Nope. All right. So... Oh, I could just reuse the one from Geekbot in... Oh, actually it's in the API from chat history. So... yeah, it'll be a nice... we'll call it Salmon. FFCOCO. All right. Yeah. One config file to rule them all, one config file to find them, one config file to bring them all, and in this, more like in the fleshy fun bridge of my compiler, bind them. Alright, so that's going to go ahead and create a request to the API that inserts a new chat message from the YouTube author name and the message service YouTube. Cool. We're gonna save that and let's go ahead and give it a run. I thought requests were part of the standard library. I guess not. Okay, whatever. All right, let's test this out. I'm going into Twitch only, or it's YouTube only. Hey, look at that. So YouTube messages are going to come in a little bit salmony with white text. And yeah. Yo, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Holy crap. That's awesome. All right. One thing I am noticing is I know that Restream has a watermark in the upper right of the screen. Is that interfering with any of the UI components of VS Code or... Hey, Yannick. I see you on Twitch too, or on YouTube too. This is awesome. This is way cool. I'm debating the wisdom of actually bridging the two chats or just keeping it on the screen. So what I would have to do is have Geekbot, whenever it receives a message from Twitch, also run a insert over into YouTube's API, and then vice versa. Whenever YT listener gets a chat, have Geekbot send a chat to Twitch. That might be another stream. So there we go. We have Twitch and YouTube chat all coming in to the chat on the screen. Most of the UI components of Restream seem to be doing okay. They're staying out of the way for the most part, which, you know, kudos to Restream. I don't mind having their details on my stream at all. It's actually a really cool service. Between the two services, Twitch and YouTube, I thought I'd had a lot more trouble configuring them, but no, this came together perfectly. Yeah, so I think we have the wrinkles in Restreaming in Restream.io worked out, and you know, I think we've converged the chats, at least as far as we're going to converge them this stream. So thank you all for coming out. I know we had a few people pop into YouTube, we had a few people pop on to Twitch, and some people from Twitch also popped onto YouTube, which is also very cool. I hope everyone had a good time, and if you have any questions... Okay, so I see we have one question coming in, Yannick. So you're streaming to Restream right now? Yeah, so I'm streaming to Restream. They have their own stream key, and I send my data to them, and they branch it off to YouTube and Twitch. I had to connect both accounts so they could do their stuff in the back end, but then yeah, that's it. It was really easy. Even OBS has the capacity to connect right to your Restreaming.io account, so I didn't have to do anything about adding Restream or anything like that. And OBS also populates a couple of dockables that you could add to the UI for chat and which channels you want to restream to at any given time and what your stream information will be. So why don't you pull the chat from Restream? I could, I suppose. Okay, so one of the things I want to do with this is roll my own as much as I can. So I could go to Restream.io, sure. I don't think Restream is going to cross-populate the chat. I don't know. And honestly, the way it's working out, I could do that myself anyway. So very cool. Yeah, so that's working out really well. All right, so I think I'm going to call this a stream here. I want to thank you all for popping out. If you have any questions, go ahead and send me either a message on YouTube or a message on Twitch, so we could do that now. And then if you have any, if you want to check out any of the code that I've written over the course of the stream, it's all written to GitHub. So that's github.com/Unwise Geek. All right. Um, oh, I see what you're saying, Yannick. So on the chat window that I have in OBS, it does have both. Um, it does have both chats from YouTube and Twitch, so I can follow them both as I'm streaming. My main concern is to have it up on the screen for YouTube and Twitch to follow each other. So yeah, so people on YouTube can see what Twitch is doing. People on Twitch can see what YouTube is talking about. The question I have now is whether I want to integrate YT Listener and Geekbot together to both cross-populate. So, for example, when YouTube sees a message, Geekbot will say, it'll have two brackets saying YouTube, and then the person who wrote the message, and then what the message is. So there's conversation across both platforms. That's something to think about. I kind of have an idea of how to implement it. Yeah, I think it's be great for another stream. So I'm going to call it there. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I'm going to go grocery shopping now because evidently that's important. And my wife appreciates me when I do that. Alright, so everybody have an awesome day. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very much for popping out. And as always, it was a great day to code. And I'm happy I got to code with you. I'll be back tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope you're here with me. And yeah, we'll probably iterate a little bit more on this. Alright, everybody take care. Have a great one.